welcome to another Fan Zoom for the International Fan Zoom. The big match, Australia versus India, which starts tomorrow, the pink ball test match. And it's going to be really interesting. In the meeting today, we have Samrud. Samrud, how are you? Are you Samrud? Samrud, can you hear me? Is he on mute? we have Aditya.
I'm doing fine, so how are you?
Oh, good. Aditya, and Aditya, how are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too good. Can you just switch your phone camera the other side?
Yes, sir. Is this fine?
Perfect. And where are you calling from, Aditya? Where are you based?
I'm from Belgaum, sir, Karnataka, India.
Oh, Karnataka. So I've got another person from Karnataka. And then we have our special guest from DC Tolly, the great Manan Oberol. Manan, how are you?
I'm doing well, just enjoying. I'm in Bangalore these days, so enjoying the weather here.
Oh, brilliant. So he's in Bangalore. And then in Saudi Arabia, we have Zahi, our old friend Zahi.
Hello, how are you? Good. How are you? How's everything going, sir?
Everything is good. It's cold. It's rainy in the UK, like normal. So
Same here. It's too cold here as well. Winters are all in.
Wow.
Enjoy the snow.
And we have Prav, our Kings 11 Punjab expert. Prav, how are you doing, Prav?
I'm pretty good. Could be better because it's raining outside, as you said earlier, but we got to make the most of it, I suppose. But how are you?
Are you in London or are you in Birmingham? Back home?
I'm in Birmingham right now, Dudley. So yeah.
Oh, we're Pendus, by the way. We're Pendus, so I'm in Dudley too. And then we have Rishabh, the man behind everything. Rishabh, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
And your voice is better now?
Yeah, it's better, yeah.
Yeah, and Rishabh had a bit of tonsillitis, and he's based in Haryana. So again, a wide perspective of where people are from, and we're going to enjoy the test match and our coverage, which will be based on the Rajasthan Royals Fans Forum on Instagram, and it will also be based on our fan club. We have now 50,000 members on the fan club. So guys, thank you again for all your participation. It's been much appreciated. And we've grown the franchise a lot in the time. And again, it's open to many fans, Delhi Capitals, Rajasthan Royals, Kings 11 Punjab. We've got Sunrisers Hyderabad. And Aditya, who do you follow?
Royal Challengers Bangalore.
So we've also got RCB in the house as well. So even good to have you guys always supporting the channel. And what we will do is we will go into the match tomorrow. India have named their team. And we'll start with Samrud. Samrud, are you happy with the team?
Yeah, I'm happy with the team. I think the only two changes that could have happened was their Shubman could have played instead of Shaw, and Rishabh Pant was probably another option instead of Saha. But I go with Virat Kohli there. He's backing his player. I think Prithvi Shaw was their first choice opener in New Zealand, so he's backing him through his international form and not really looking into the practice matches. I think Saha had to play. I think he's probably the best gloveman around in the world, and especially with the pink ball, when the ball swings around, you need your best wicket keeper. And with the presence of Hanuma Vihari at 6, I think when you pick a top 6 like that, as strong as India has, I think you need your batsman to step up. And if you're focusing on Wriddhiman Saha's batting at number 7, that means to show you don't have enough confidence. So that's a reason why I think Wriddhiman Saha playing ahead of Rishabh Pant is a really good thing. And I support Virat Kohli in this matter, backing his international performances of these players.
No, and that's the main debate on all the social media channels. It's about Pant and Shubman Gill. So it's good that we've got two people in the house that could defend their IPL fly. So I'll start with you, Manan. Make the case for Rishabh Pant to play, and also Prithvi Shaw.
I mean, if you generally see, the way the Indian setup has been operating in the last, 3-5 years since Ravi Shastri's come, they've given, a long rope to certain players. If you look at Prithvi Shaw and you look at his international career, he got injured in Australia, then he was not playing for about 6 months because he was banned. And, we saw he was touted as, the next big thing in Indian cricket. He's not had the best of IPLs, but you saw that brilliance, of Prithvi Shaw during the IPL. And, same, I would have backed, Prithvi Shaw over Shubman Gill as well. I'm okay with the decision. When it comes to Pant, it's, again, the management has made it very, very clear that, Saha is our number one test keeper, and they're going forward with the same philosophy. So again, I'm cool with that. When these guys don't perform, then, in this series, let's see, what people say.
Well, that's really, really interesting, because what we have is we have the established player in Prithvi Shaw, hasn't shown any form, but I don't think Shubman Gill has also stepped up to that mark. So we move on to Prav. The case for Shubman Gill, I say all of Punjab wants Shubman Gill to make his test debut. What about yourself? What do you think of Shubman Gill?
I think, well, if we looked at the practice matches as well, and considering, they weren't Australia's best bowlers, but it's still something that Shubman Gill scored a 44 and a 65, whereas Shaw got a 40, and did he get a duck the next innings? But I know he low scored, and he just looked very comfortable in Australian conditions, which for me, opening, and I assume Gill would be opening the batting, even though Shaw has more experience. It seems like, I mean, me personally, being Punjabi as well, I just feel more comfortable if he was opening. But I was going to say, in terms of the Pant decision, I agree with picking Saha over Pant, because if he's a better keeper, first of all, like, there's no debate surrounding that. But if we were 5 wickets down for 60 or like 120, I'd rather Saha walk in than Rishabh Pant, because I know he could do something with the innings and get us to a decent total. Whereas Pant, it's one of those, he could block it up for 30, 40 balls, and he could just play a stupid shot and get out later. But I see a bit of disagreement from Manan there.
Yeah, obviously
I mean, Pant's a better batsman than Saha. Let's get it there. Better keeper, I get it. First choice wicket keeper for Test, I get it. But I would still like seeing Rishabh Pant, walking in if India is 5 at 60, then Vrindavan Saha.
I mean, for me, I think Saha's just got better decision making, which is probably why I feel more comfortable with him at the moment. But give it a couple of years, I think Pant could definitely be there and play properly.
Brilliant.
Rishabh Pant could drop a catch of maybe Bumrah's bowling, but I don't think Wriddhiman Saha will drop a catch for you. If the ball is hanging around, you want your best keeper there.
We moved to the RCB angle, and then we'll move on to Kohli's last game. Yeah, how big a blow is that going to be, Aditya?
Yes.
Kohli.
First of all, like, the game is in Adelaide Oval, so India's having a dominant position in Adelaide, and we've seen Virat hitting centuries in Oval, so it will give a good strength for him. It will even boost his confidence, and it might be his last Test game of the year, but still, if we win the match, then I think we'll be in a better position, and the first victory will even give good confidence to the whole team for the upcoming series.
Brilliant. And we will think on that. I say this is the conundrum that we have is once Virat leaves, we then have another place at number 4. And then I think Shubman Gill can fit into number 4. But again, to fit into Virat Kohli's shoes for any batsman, it's going to be difficult. Zahid, we'll move to yourself. How do you feel the makeup of the Indian team?
As in, for me, I think Shubman Gill should be opening.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
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 Yeah, we've just lost him for a second. But again, that's the big debate, is Shubman Gill opening? And even when Virat Kohli goes, who opens? Interesting question there. Within Saha Samrud, they're thinking Pant and Saha. Pant and Saha, which way are you going with your Sunrisers hat on?
I said it definitely Riddhiman Saha, definitely Riddhiman Saha. I'm saying it many a times because you need a specialist wicket keeper with the pink ball and this ball swinging around there. Like I said, if Rishabh Pant, if he drops a crucial catch, Riddhiman Saha doesn't. He has a perfect set of hands, best development in the world, and we are underestimating Riddhiman Saha's batting. He also scored a crucial 50 in the first warm-up match against high-quality bowlers. They were better bowlers in the first warm-up match from the Australian side as well. So he scored a really good 50, and he's someone who likes to play a long inning, so he can spend a lot of time at the crease. And like I said, you have 6 batsmen over there, top 6 batsmen of high quality, and Riddhiman Saha can come in and play the supporting role as well. So I don't think we are underestimating Riddhiman Saha's batting actually. So I think it's a really good choice of picking Riddhiman Saha over Rishabh Pant for the first time.
Brilliant. And again, yes, and you can see where that would come in, because I think the main reason why Ravi Shastri's gone that way, because he's going to use Prithvi Shaw as the attacking batsman. So he wants the defensive aspect of Withrim Saha in at the bottom. So just in case they do lose the wickets up top, maybe with his Saha. The other key player here, and I'll move to London quickly, Ajinkya Rahane, vice captain of the tour, and also didn't show up much for BC Capitals during the IPL. What role? How do you see his role?
Was that for me? I'm so sorry. Yeah. I mean, again, test match, T20s, we've seen, what Smith did when he shifted from T20 to the ODIs. If a Rahane can do a Smith, I think he's going to be a very, very important player during the series, because once Virat, leaves, he's going to lead this. He's going to lead this side. Having said that, for me, Hukum Ka Ikka, I still think it's going to be Pujara. If he can repeat or even, do 80% of what he did at the last, Australian tour, my, player of the series, I'm looking forward how Pujara comes out of this quarantine period of cricket.
Oh, brilliant. And again, I think that's going to be the big battle. So in the first test match, we've got Virat Kohli and Rahane, the 2 key players, I think. And obviously Labuschagne and also Steve Smith on the other side. So that batting matchup is going to be a crucial one. And the batsmen that come out on top will be there. Let's quickly move to Prav and the bowlers. So we know Mohammad Shami, and we know it's going to be Bumrah, and we know the third seamer is going to be Umesh Yadav. What's your views on that bowling attack?
I think it's pretty solid. I have literally no complaints about it. I think we've got the 3 best seamers. I don't think Saini and Siraj are quite ready for Test cricket yet. I mean, Siraj is nearly 27 now, so I think he'll be at best a squad player. Saini, he's got a lot of time still, so I'm not too worried about that. I think we also forget that we probably have the best spinner as well in Ravi Ashwin, and we can get Vihari to bowl a few overs as well. So I think we're looking pretty solid on like Australian kind of wickets, to be honest.
And that's the big interesting thing about this test series. We're not really talking about the bowlers. Usually what we would say, Indian bowlers are going to struggle on this. I think Ishant is going to be a big miss for India, because I think Ishant's height and the bounce that he gets on the Australian wickets is a big one. And I think also having Ravi Jadeja in as the extra spinner, maybe instead of Vihari, they could have gone that way. But I think the concussion and the injury is taken off there. Aditya, straight to you. Prab mentioned Mohammad Siraj. Do you think he's test ready in your experience?
When he played the practice match, he looked quite confident. He picked a couple of wickets in his first match as well as the second match. But I think they have the bowling lineup that they have selected right now, like Umesh, then Bumrah and Mohammad Shami. That is pretty good for the first test. Since it's the pink ball, you need a lot of experience as well. So Umesh Yadav's got a pretty good experience. He can bowl in the middle. Then you can even give him the new ball. Then you got Bumrah as well as Mohammad Shami. So I don't think like Siraj is a good bowler, but let's see. It is if he bowls well, then he may be in the second test.
Brilliant, brilliant. And again, I think that's one of the big points that India are probably doing. They're making sure Jadeja is fit. So when the test match moves to Sydney, they've got him ready for that, because I think they'll play 2 spinners in the Sydney test match. And then I think even Australia are thinking of playing Swepson as their second spinner. So I think the Sydney test will be different. The pink ball is going to be very interesting. I think because there's been no first-class cricket during the isolation period, the teams are quite evenly matched. So I would really have favoured Australia had they had a full season of their domestic circuit. But red ball cricket, it's a new story. Sam, straight to you. A quick one about David Warner. I think that's going to be a big miss for Australia. What's your views on David Warner? I know you love him, but...
Well, as a David Warner fan, I definitely miss him. I would have loved to see him play in the pink ball test. But as far as an Indian fan is concerned, I think this is a really good opportunity for India, to get those 2 top order wickets early. I think Matthew Wade will open with Joe Burns, I think, tomorrow. So I think it's a very fragile looking top order for Australia. And if India and particularly Jasprit Bumrah, if we manage to get the wicket of Burns and Matthew Wade early, that would put a lot of pressure on Manas Labuschagne and Steve Smith. What Steve Smith and Manas Labuschagne have been enjoying in the past is a really good start from David Warner. They'll definitely miss him. And if like I said, if India managed to get the wickets early in the first 5 overs, and if Manas Labuschagne and Steve Smith come in to face the new ball against high quality pace bowling of Shami and Bumrah, it will be difficult. So big miss David Warner. As a fan, I definitely miss him. Would have loved to seen David Warner play, but as an Indian fan, I'm very happy for it.
Yeah, and that seems to be the big call on the media, social media channels, and through the pundits are saying Warner is going to be the big miss. And it's interesting that you said about having the base set up for Smith and Labuschagne. I think that's a key thing. Getting those players in at start is going to be busy. If we move to you, Manan, your views on this Australian batting here. How do you see the Australian batting and our bowling against their batsman matchup?
So I think the first thing, I think Prav and you kind of hit it rightly where you guys were saying that our first 4 bowlers, of course, are very, very good, but what we don't have is if one of these 3 pacers God forbid get injured, do we have the bench strength to carry on in the test series? And I think that's where Bhuvi and Ishant are going to be really, really missed. Australia, I mean, over the years, I think their batting is relied on Steve Smith and Warner, and one person helping out. And I think in this series is going to be Manas. Someone out of their top 2 will probably become an Australian hero, because they will, if they have to win this series, one of the 2 openers will have to do really, really well. It'll be very interesting. I think it is going to be a big battle. Which openers of both the sides do better, and I think whichever openers do better, they'll probably win the series.
And that's a brilliant point, because that's what a lot of people are saying is the opening pair against the opening pair. So against Burns, Bumrah's had the edge on Burns, and if they lose that early wicket, that then puts the pressure onto the rest of the batsmen, which means it's Smith, and then it means Thingy. Whereas I think India may put Kohli at 4, and I think that might be a better way of protecting Kohli, see what goes up on top and let the ball go a bit, and then build a thing. Prav, just quickly moving to yourself, the Australian bowling attack, it looks pretty juicy as well. Maybe Mitchell Starc doesn't play tomorrow. Would that be a big blow to Australia?
I was going to say, because they haven't confirmed who's actually playing yet, have they? So I assume it's Patterson, Hazelwood, Cummins, and possibly Starc, but one of those would get dropped. Personally, I think Stark's been a bit off it, so I don't think Australia would miss him too much. as opposed to like, because they've got the other three bowlers are in good form. But the interesting, like as Manan was saying, the interesting thing is then how does this relate back to the openers? Because I think our opening duo could face their opening spell a lot better than Matthew Wade and say Joe Burns would face Bumrah or Shami. But I assume Nathan Lyon's also bowling as well, right?
No.
But then our middle order, if we lose early wickets, and this is where like the debate comes and like why people like Labuschagne and Smith and Kohli are so great, because even if Australia say 4 for 2, I don't think Labuschagne and Smith will feel that pressure, which is probably like the biggest thing. And I think recently in the last year or so, Kohli started to feel that pressure a bit more, which is probably why he hasn't been scoring as much as he's used, as he used to. But I don't think Australia will miss Stark though, like going back to answer your question. And I don't think it'll really be much of an upgrade for like in India's chances either.
Cool. Yeah, and that's what they said, because if you look at back at the ODIs, and I don't think he played the T20s, but the ODIs, he looked really rusty. So it might be good, and I think that's the difference. If a fully fit Stark was playing, you've then got the left arm angle, and again that can make up the rough for the spinners as well later on in the match. So not having a left arm bowler is going to be key. And I think if Stark doesn't play, I think that will fall into India's hands, because Lyon might be less effective coming in later on. So, Aditya, to you, how do you see the Australian bowling lineup compared to the Indian bowling lineup?
Well, the first match is played by pink ball, so I feel that Stark has to play. He's got 40 around, I guess, 40 wickets in his last few matches playing with the pink ball. So he'll have a dominant role. And one more thing is Pat Cummins and Josh Hazelwood. They both are the best bowlers like for Test. So it's gonna be a tough fight for India if Prithvi Shaw and Mayank Agarwal, they stabilize the innings, and with Chiteswar Pujara. So I feel that India can manage in having a good score. But overall, I feel that Mitchell Stark's presence is going to be a crucial point for Australia. He's the leading wicket taker in pink ball. So even with spinning options like Nathan Lyon or not Zampa, Nathan Lyon, he's the best in that format.
Yeah, and that's come on in, straight to you.
What I was saying is that, if you look at both the sides, I think that Mitchell Stark, first of all, should play, because I think he is your leader for the Australian pack. What is very interesting is who's going to be the leader in terms of the thinking leader for the Indian pack, because I thought that, Ishant as a senior bowler was playing that role in the test. Now, I would ask you guys, would it be Bumrah or would it be Shami who would be your leader of the pack when it comes to our fast bowling?
Yeah, good question. And I think Ishant does do that really well. But I've been really impressed in the last few test matches with Umesh Yadav. So, but he bowls brilliantly in India, but when he goes outside of India, he doesn't seem to hit it. So answering your question, it probably will be, I think it'd be Shami. Personally, for me, I think Shami's having the experience. He's got the form, consistent form. I know Bumrah came in and out of form during the IPL. Right at the end, he was on top form. But I think it's a bit of a joint thing there. But I think Shami is probably now the leader. And obviously, he's called second innings Shami for a reason, because every time in the second innings, he seems to reverse the ball and he comes into his element. So maybe Bumrah in the first innings and Shami in the second innings. Prav, what do you think, being a Shami fan?
For me, I'd say Shami's definitely the thought leader for the bowling attack. However, though he isn't the best bowler, I'd probably still say Bumrah in terms of raw talent is better. But I think, as we said with form, and I think in terms of accuracy, like Shami knows where and how to bowl in Test cricket, which is why he'd be the thought leader for me personally. I think he's probably going to be the best fast bowler in the whole series. out of India or Australia.
Oh, and yeah, a lot of people are saying that that Shami will probably be. It is the one that Shami is going. I think the rhythm of Shami is the most important thing. If that bowler is in good rhythm, is swinging the ball out, has the ability to bowl it short as well, that will be a massive asset for India. So, Samrat, you're now the captain tomorrow. Virat Kohli or Steve Smith, you win the toss. What will you be doing?
I would love to ball first, and just try and see what sort of conditions there. And by looking at the team which is batting first, you'll get an idea of how the pitch is behaving, and it's always a safer side to bowl first and check what the conditions are around. And India don't usually bat well when they bat first. They tend to lose a lot of wickets in the first session. So just to safeguard our openers and just to try and see what the wicket is behaving. If I was Virat Kohli, if I won the toss, I would definitely be bowling first.
And Aditya, would you agree with Samrud on that? Would you bowl first or bat first?
No, I would agree on Samrud. It's better we bowl first. If suppose if Virat Kohli wins the toss, it's better to bowl first. So as Samrud mentioned that we can check the wicket how it is, and batting first, like we've not have got a good success ratio, so it's better we would have ball first.
Brilliant. And Manan, you had something to say at there?
I mean, since growing up, we've heard that, if you're playing a foreign tour, if you win the toss first game, put your batsmen, in. If they can clear the first 1 hour, you don't only stamp yourself in the match, but you also stamp yourself in the whole series. So for me, if we win the toss, I think we should bat first. Also, I think the third session is where the ball moves the most. So, if you want to counter that bit, it makes sense that we are batting first. Even if we, lose all our wickets in the first 2 sessions, I think third session is supposed to be the best time to bowl with a pink ball. So I'll win the toss and bat first.
Prav, for yourself, what would you be doing?
I don't know. I think it depends on the wicket, to be honest, because I've not seen it, and it's all good. But if it's a road, then we should probably bat and not worry about past experiences. That would just be my opinion. But again, I don't know what the wicket looks like.
Yeah. The main reason why I asked that question was obviously because the way I'm looking at it is both teams seem bowler heavy. Yeah, where their bowling is probably the best strength. So as a captain, if I was in the situation, I would probably look at the conditions. But then I would probably want to play to my strength, which is probably the bowling aspect, is get the quick wickets through, get them to a low total, and then being able to assess the conditions and bat there. So
I was going to say, we have to remember this first test match, we still have Virat Kohli. So I'd say we probably edge the batting in this regard as well. Because we have Kohli, Pujara. Agarwal is a very good test match player, and we've got Rahane. So I'd probably go bat first then and back our bowlers to bowl them out. Yeah,
and that's the main thing. Having that extra batsman in Virat Kohli for this test match, we've got our X factor player. So it's Aditya, just straight to you. How important is it for Team India to win this first test match with Kohli in it? And if they lose or draw, do you think that's going to disadvantage India going on to the rest of the match?
It's going to be a very important match, the first match, since if we win the first match, then it will give a good confidence to the whole series. And with Virat in it, they have to win it. And once if the main batsman, the king, goes out of the team, then it's going to be a tough one for them. So I think match is in Adelaide Oval. India's got a good record. So my gut says that they'll win.
Oh, well, brilliant. And so we'll go to that question now. Samrud, your case, who's going to win the first test match and who's going to win the series?
Well, I think I'm backing India to start well, because I think India really looks a really good team now, and especially with with David Warner out. So I think India openers are also having an edge over the Australian openers. I think in this particular test match, I think that the team whichever bats well, I think that team will definitely go on to win the test match, because I think this is going to be a bowler's feast, and bowlers are going to pick a lot of wickets. So whichever team bats well, I think that will win the series. And with Virat Kohli in it, I'm backing India to win the test match. And about the series, I still don't know. Once Virat leaves, I still don't know how the team will react to the main player missing out. And hopefully India does well. And regarding the series, I'm not so sure. I can't tell now. But regards to the first test match, I think India will definitely win.
And to you, Manan, what's your points on that one? Who are you tipping for the match and the series?
I mean, your test matches are won by your bowlers. So I say that India win the first test. I also say if India's bowlers are, no one gets injured, we'll probably win it, by a margin of 1.
Wow. That's the Prav. Anything or any difference?
I'd say we should win the first test. I think the series, we should edge it 2-1 personally. I think the key batsman for India over the series is probably going to be Agarwal because he is like that mainstay opener. And I think then if people like Pujara, Gill, because I think Gill will come in for the second test. And if people like Gill, Pujara and Rahane can like score around him, we should be fine. I think we still will lose a test match though, possibly 2. So I don't think we'll lose the series, but I think we could definitely win it.
And again, it's a very, very close series. I think if he's playing in India now, I'd definitely favour India. Played in Australia, I think that mental block, they overcome that in the last series. So, I do think if India can win the first match, with Rohit Sharma coming and Ishant Sharma coming back into the team later on, that will give them a boost. Just on to you, final question before we sum up. Aditya, how do you think having Rohit Sharma, do you think Rohit Sharma will come back into the team once he comes back to India and maybe Ishant?
Yes, deep inside we know that we are missing our fast bowler Ishant as well as our important batsman Rohit. So if once they come back to our side, it will even strengthen India's batting position. Like we know Virat is missing for the second, third, fourth matches. And so if Rohit comes, he can play a dominant role. He can be a good player. And when we talk about Ishant Sharma, then India's team will be perfect. Like we'll be having Bumrah, Mohammad Shami and Ishant for the fast bowlers. So it will be an overall balanced side. That's what I feel.
And that's the big question is you're either team Rohit or you're team Virat. And this time we want both to do well and then hopefully see India to win because during the World Test Championship, it's getting very interesting now. New Zealand are now the #1 ranked team in Test cricket. Now that we've gone to the percentage win game, it's very important. Every Test match is important. So a result for India, maybe 2 results, then England come. And then India's travel to England. The Test match series is going to be very, very important. And I think for India to qualify for the World Test Championship final, they've probably got to win at least 3 out of the 8 or 9 Test matches that they will play to get into the final. Otherwise, we will probably end up with an England, Australia final at Lords for the World Test Championship, guys. Thank you for all your time, guys. It's been a brilliant discussion. As I say, final thing, man of the series. Prav, who's going to be your man of the series?
Mayank Agarwal.
Mayank Agarwal. Manan, your man of the series?
Mohammad Shami.
Mohammad Shami. Samrud, your man of the series?
India, Jasprit Bumrah, Australia, David Warner. Once he comes back.
And Aditya, your man of the series, I think you mentioned it before.
It has to be Mitchell Starc.
Mitchell Starc. So I think if Mitchell Starc does come man of the series, I don't fancy India's chances. But again, guys, thank you for the magnificent discussion. Thank you again for all your support, and it's much appreciated. And I guess we'll see you at the end of the Test match for a quick review and see where we are. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Catch us on our YouTube channel, our Instagram, and also on the Rajasthan Royals fans club. And hope to see you soon. Jack to India! Jack to India!
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Fabulous.